Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Wealth Puzzle. This is Mike Mansfield. And as always, Tana Pennington. Woohoo. Now, there's
Thank you.
something very weird going on today. So it's a little freaky because I've got some eyes on me. So sitting to the side, I got to figure out where I got the camera. Over there is Grace.
Yes, she's one of our guests.
Grace is our protege. She is here behind the scenes. She is like an auditor of what the heck we're up to. She is watching us today. Grace, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
See, barely heard her. I didn't give her a mic. I gave her headphones. So she has her headphones on. She looks real legit. So Grace is a financial planning student. She is getting a degree in finance. She is a super intelligent, highly capable young person. As I feel like I just described Tana.
Thank you.
You know, obviously, certainly not myself, but in any case, Grace is here. She's helping us. And so probably over the next few weeks, we'll probably figure out a way to get her own station and get her plugged in here so she can feed us her 2 cents. Now, she's only like, I don't know, 9, 12. How old are you, Grace?
21.
She's 21. Whoa, 21.
That's a fun age.
That suddenly made me feel old, right? Because I'm mentally pushing 70. I retired 5 years ago. But yeah, anyways, Tana, thanks for joining us. This is, like I said, this is the Wealth Puzzle with the Lynn Group here. For the new listeners, we do retirement income planning. We help everybody organize the mess, right? Take all the puzzle pieces and make a good picture. What are your taxes? What is your income? What type of investments do you have? What about the problems that most people think about and they don't know answers to? The timing of Social Security. How do you not get hosed by Medicare because you accidentally showed too much income one year?
Right.
That's Tana's specialty, actually, is what do they call that?
The Irma.
Yes. Irma. You always remember it's got a name.
It does.
They named
It's weird.
it Aunt Irma. Don't get hosed by Aunt Irma.
No.
So about a month ago, I don't even know how long it's been. We'd have to check. Maybe it's been longer than a month, but we took our podcast. So we have a lot of podcast listeners and we turned it into a show. So we are recording these because we had all of these email requests saying, I just want to see Tana.
No.
I want a picture of Tana. Can I see Tana in action?
No.
Yeah. I'll forward the emails to you. They're
you
bizarre.
Lie.
They're bizarre.
But thank you.
They're all from one person though. Is that
some creepy stalker?
You get eight emails a week from them. In any case, so Grace is giving me the like.
What are you guys talking
this is
about?
What you invited me to? This is the what you invited me to show. But in any case, we got a good show today. Tana sent me some weird articles I thought were kind of funny. Everybody's hot potatoes on the spending stuff. And we're going to talk about that. But hey, more importantly, Tana, how have you been? How is life in Texas?
Good. Yeah, it's beautiful. Everything's really green. I love this time of year.
The real estate's up. You know, I was looking at houses the other day there online. And geez Louise, you should sell your house and come here. You could get for the same price. You could get the dumpster behind Trader Joe's here. It's a great deal. It's only $780,000. And
I'd have to homeschool most of the week.
Well,
that would be bad.
At least you can serve lunch out the back of Trader Joe's.
Not a good idea.
Trader Joe's, I like Trader Joe's. Is there a Trader Joe's up in Idaho, Grace? Grace is up in Idaho. She's up at BYU in the finance program in Idaho.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Trader Joe's is a good store. It's got such weird little things. You know, it's so good, so bad. So I shouldn't even say this out loud. Is they make like there's this like little micro. It's like half a shelf big of like the bakery section, and they've got this one of them's like a vanilla bean cake.
Oh,
that's pretty
dear.
good. But there's this other thing called like a pancake cake where it's like a cake but it's like pancake flavored. It's really weird sounding, but it's actually
really
the
good
whole thing. Yeah. That's the problem with stuff like that.
I can't buy that stuff.
Irresponsible, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to eat it.
I eat my emotions. I have a rule that every day the stock market's up, I eat a whole cake.
You do not.
It's true. That's why I can't stand up.
Didn't you call me at the gym this morning?
I did. Could you tell? I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that. And I was so embarrassed. Tana and I were talking at the gym this morning, and I was on the stair stepper, and I'm like huffing and puffing, and I'm like, she probably thinks I'm at McDonald's, like woofing down a sausage bacon patty.
Oh, that was a good visual.
Well, yes, I was at the gym. Yes, there. I'm not flexible enough to pat my back, or I would. But I'm working on it. Anyways, this has already gone downhill. We're already 5 minutes into this. We have wasted everybody's time. I apologize. Let's get down to business. I'm going to start, Tana. I know you sent me some stuff, but I'm going to start first. I was looking at some fun things I thought I would share with everybody. Let me see where it is. The old weekly COVID tracker.
Ooh.
This is always fun, right? I always enjoy talking about this because some people like it, some people hate it, everything's in between. But the great thing is all of these updated data points, or most of them, are coming from the CDC website. It is really nice because we can very visually see how cases are trending, how vaccine doses are trending, and all of that good stuff. And oftentimes people always kind of lose sight on what the show's about, right? Remember, we're retirement income planners. We're supposed to help you organize your financial life. What's the point of talking about COVID? Well, it's a pretty big point, right? I mean, to me, one of the big drivers of the stock market is what's happening with Mr. COVID.
Right.
Because depending on that, will dictate shutdowns, will dictate openings, will dictate earnings of companies, will dictate government spending on stimulus checks. This thing is hinging a lot of data in other individual financial planning points right now. So that's why we're using it. On a side note, everybody's also who's watching the show is probably wondering why the heck I'm wearing a hat. And that's because I didn't get a haircut over the weekend or comb my hair. No, I put the hat on this morning and then I wore it for like 3 hours before the show. And then I took it off for the show and I realized I had a big line across my forehead. And I didn't want someone to think I got hit with a 2x4 over the weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've left the hat on. In any case, fun fact, I was reading this week's COVID information, and one of the things that popped up that I thought was interesting was up here in the upper right corner for those that are watching this. U.S. Census survey conducted the second half of March, which was a few weeks ago, found that 4.2 million adults aren't working because they are afraid of getting or spreading COVID.
Wow.
Thought, ouch, that's a lot of people. 4.2 million have chosen not to go back to work because of the fear, and I'm not here to knock people being concerned or scared. You got to be prudent. You got to take care of yourself. That's understandable. But that's a big swath of people, especially as we talk about what our country's economic goals are. Our economic goals are to try to get the unemployment rate back down as we normalize the economy. That way the feds can raise rates and get rates back to normal. There's a lot of things that hinge on unemployment rates. And I thought that was very interesting because 4.2 is a lot of people.
Yeah, that is a lot of people.
Let's see what else is on here. I'm tired of talking about the deaths from this stuff, so we'll skip that this week. We don't want the weekly death update. That doesn't sound good. Here, this one's a fun one down here in the gray box for anyone who can see this. A recent study of nearly 50,000 Californians. Are you considered a Californian anymore? What is the definition of a Californian? Do you physically have to live in California? Like Grace lived in California her whole life. Now she's away at college. Is she still a Californian?
She is.
Or is she an Idahoan?
No, because she's just going to school. So that's kind of temporary.
Okay. So by de facto she becomes a Californian. What about you?
Well, my heart is in California. I love California. I really do.
We should feature you in one of those California vacation here commercials that the state puts on, where everything looks perfect.
I miss the mountains. I miss the beach, and family and friends and working in the office. But I have to admit, Texas is a great place too.
Do they play those commercials there though? More importantly, like in Texas, do you see the California vacation here commercials?
No,
they're incredible. This place is beautiful, I'm told. It's funny though, is last time I was down at the beach, I stepped on a used diaper.
Ouch.
And thought,
well, I guess that wouldn't have hurt.
Vacation here in California. Well, it's better than stepping on a needle. So,
it's all squishy.
Step on a needle or a landmine?
Neither.
I like to think that it was mushy because of all the seawater.
Right.
In any case, back to my point here that I was trying to make that failed. A recent study of nearly 50,000 Californians who contracted COVID-19 found that those who consistently got physical exercise had much better health outcomes even after controlling for demographics and comorbidities. Patients who were consistently inactive before their diagnosis were 2.6 times as likely to be hospitalized, 1.7 times more likely to be admitted to the ICU, and 2.5 times as likely to die than a patient who exercised at least 2.5 hours a week.
I believe it.
I know, but it's just like it's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Because Look, I love my clients. I love the people that I help, that I work with. It's such an honor to have the relationships that I do. But I can admit, I have a whole
Mhm.
swath of clients that, being pragmatic, they've been concerned, they've been scared, and
Mhm.
they've literally been sheltering in place for the last
Right.
year. They're not going outside. They have things delivered. They have other people get their groceries. I know a number of those types
Mhm.
of people. And it's a challenge because these are also the people that I used to see at LA Fitness at the gym every week going to a
Right.
Zumba class or something. And they're not doing any of that stuff anymore. And there's such an ironic conundrum when you read these kind of data points to say, wow, everyone's trying to be safe, but the irony of being almost too safe and
Mhm.
hiding in place could almost be more problematic if
Right.
you in fact get sick.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
you can't win. So everyone, let's be careful. Let's get the economy
Mhm.
open, down to business. Now, Mr. Newsom, I don't know if it's the fear of the recall or whatever, but all of a sudden out of nowhere said hot diggity dog by June 15th. Let's open California and have a party. So we'll all be at Disneyland on June 15th, Tana, if you want to go.
Those lines are gonna be real long.
That'll be illegal. They can't have long
Oh,
lines.
that's right. They're gonna.
Yeah.
You won't make it in the gate then, because they'll turn you around.
Is that what it is? Oh well. So, all right. Enough about me. It's all about you, Tana. What is it that you wanted to talk about today? I apologize for
Yeah, no,
wasting your time here.
not at all. Very good
Hey, I found a new
information.
setting too on this thing. I think I can like get rid of us and literally make what I show even bigger. So we'll try that in a second. I'm excited.
Make us look bigger.
Sorry, you were talking. I started clicking buttons for
No,
fun.
it's okay. So one of the articles I sent you was about the Dow Jones jumps 300 points.
Oh, yeah.
Very impressive.
That pesky Dow would do that.
Yeah.
Here, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I got your article. Watch this though. Bloop. Oh, that now made it no bigger. All it did was it removed us. I thought that would go full screen.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'd rather look at myself. So we'll keep me on. So yeah, no, fun article, right? So last week, remember we're recording this on April 19th, 2021. It's been a weird time. The stock market's been hitting all-time highs.
Mhm.
A little bit of a conundrum there though, right? Because so many people are like, yeah, stock market's high, but a lot of things aren't actually hitting all-time highs. The Dow Jones is doing really well. Industrials are doing really well. You know what? Side note here, I'm gonna let me figure out how to show something else real quick. I'm gonna detract from your point here. Here, say something intelligent while I'm trying to figure this out.
Say something.
Say something. I'm giving up on you. I gave up. Dude, I have to admit, whatever this thing is that we do here has gone way downhill.
It has.
But that's what makes it fun. For me, at least. All right. I don't know if anybody can see this. What I just plopped on the screen here is these are the different sectors of the S&P 500 this year. So remember, general stock market is up, right? Woohoo! That's very exciting. Last year, the stock market was up. Woohoo! The problem is the stock market is not all up, and that's what's kind of interesting. Tana, quiz, any clue which sector was the best last year? Technology, energy, financials? It's technology. Industrials, materials. It's technology.
Technology.
Technology. Good answer. That was a great guess. So last year, technology was a massive sector, right? It was up something like 30%. Blew out all the doors off the house. What's funny is there's like 11 major sectors that we're normally following. They're on this little colorful chart on the screen in front of everybody. But last year, when the year ended, something like 6 out of 11 sectors were negative. And you're like, well, wait a second, that can't be right. The stock market was up. But the problem is sectors aren't equally weighted. And so when something like technology, which is a massive sector in the stock market, does oddly well, it makes the general stock market look like, ooh, haha, it did well. And so this is a fallacy of the retail person, right? All right, so we had some technical difficulties there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but where we were talking about how technology did terrible last year. It created an illusion that the stock market did awesome, when the reality was, something like 60% of stocks last year were down, were negative. This year is the same thing. Is the stock market up or is it down? It's up. It's at all-time highs. It's doing awesome. Everybody is stoked. But look at the chart in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 11 sectors are negative this year. And so that's funny because once again, like last year, it creates a little bit of an illusion. We say market is up. So in our mind, we think kind of like everything is up. Well, no, that's not true. Actually, consumer staples just got punched in the belly button. They're down over 7% this year. Hey, Tana.
Yes.
Here's a quiz question. What were the worst 2 performing sectors last year? What do you think they were out of the ones we're looking at here?
Was it technology and energy?
Technology was the best performing sector. We simply covered that about a minute ago. No, that was solid.
Energy, energy was
solid. Financials and energy. Definitely. So you got a 50% right on that.
Okay, sorry.
I guess I should have just asked which was the worst, and then you'd be at 100%, maybe. Except you said technology first, so I don't know.
I didn't hear your question right.
You got 50%, which is an F, I think.
Thank you.
In grading world. So we'll take the F and run. So last year the worst performing sectors were energy and financials. Tana, can you look at the chart here and tell me year to date what are the best 2 performing sectors?
So energy and financials.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so they flipped.
You're right. So things have flipped, right? So but that's a thing you think about. So many people, when you get into behavioral finance, they're so busy using history and saying, well, I don't know, technology is doing really well. I better buy technology. And then they find out that they're behind the curve. And that's because everything sector rotates over time. Oftentimes you need to be looking at the things that are the worst, because the best becomes the worst becomes the best. Things flippity floppity floopity around. We consider this with all of our investment portfolios. Should we be switching to some consumer staples as they underperform? What about healthcare? What about utilities? Have we already had such a big run in energy that it's played out for the year? There's always a lot to think about. There was an article we were talking about. I forgot how we got here. I don't remember. Oh, I know what it was. So you brought up this article about the Dow going up last week and it going to all-time highs. And really what my point I was making was it's so misleading because you watch the stock market being at all-time highs, but the reality is when you start dissecting the guts of the stock market, that is in fact not true at all. There's a lot of things that are underperforming, a lot of things that are doing mediocre. They're just very specific stocks and things that are doing well. Whew. What was that other article you sent? Let me see here. It's here somewhere.
This one's just a little bit more on the funnier side. So it's on lighter material, but it's a little funny. I thought anyways.
Anything funny. I'm a very serious
No,
person.
this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So the spending spree that's going on right now as people are getting their stimulus checks.
That can't be right. There's a pandemic financial crisis, Tana. I would imagine everybody is saving all of their stimulus checks.
I wish they were, especially if they didn't have an emergency.
Day?
Yeah. If you don't have an emergency fund, rainy day account, you should. Do not spend it.
I have an emergency fund, but I've got an electric bike.
You do not.
No, I know. It's kind of an example. I like to harp on electric bikes since everybody last year ran out and bought one with their money. So I think we touched on this, but March retail spending was insane, right? Analysts were thinking it'd be 5%. It came in at basically 10%. Mm-hmm. Boom, an explosion. Now, why was there so much spending in March, Tana? Go.
Well, because people are going back to work. They're getting prepped for their vacation that's coming up. It's springtime. There's probably proms that are now going on for high schoolers. Just things are getting back to normal.
I have to admit, you sold me on that. That was a solid answer. It sounded really good. They spent all the money because they got stimulus checks in March.
Well, no, but I was telling you what they were. I was telling you what they were spending it on.
There was a right answer and then a good answer. You gave me a good answer. I won't lie. We won't lie, but it wasn't the right answer.
Okay, sorry.
So sorry. Grace is sitting here like
I know.
What are you doing to Tana here? This is what are you, a bus? And Tana is a speed bump.
Ouch. I have tire marks across my forehead right now.
I'm an educator. I'm an educator at heart, and I haven't learned the bedside manner with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you're right. People are working more, right? Economies are opening up. They're getting stimulus checks. There's money a-flowing, and people are going bat crazy. They're really going nuts. Now, it's a fascinating conundrum, though, right? Because spending is good. 2/3 of our economy, our GDP, is people spending money. We want people spending money, but there's an irony here that they're literally spending the government's money, which ironically is our money anyways. So all we're doing is printing a boatload of money, creating a bunch of debt, giving ourselves back our money, spending it on electric bikes, and having really nothing to show for it. Electric bike, though, I guess, something to show. I apologize for those who were offended by that. And it's just kind of this sick cycle right now. Now, it's good with the sugar rush of the economy, right? Because the more money spent, the more companies show earnings, because that electric bike company says, hot dog, look at all the bikes we sold in the first quarter. And then their stock price goes up. So it's all this weird self-fulfilling prophecy. Earnings are great. GDP is great. Everything is great. The only irony here, though, is we're spending all of our own money that the government had to print and load into us from the future.
And how are we going to sustain that?
Keep printing it? I don't know. See what happens?
Not a good idea.
Let someone else deal with it?
I
don't know. Anyways,
it's going to be a problem.
Back to this article, though. What are, Tana, what are the top things that people are buying with those hard-earned stimulus checks?
Shaving.
What'd you buy, Grace?
Razors are up. Out
Grace
of all
paid
things.
for tuition. That
was smart. Good job.
Responsible.
Yeah, very responsible.
See, a normal college student would have gotten 6 student loans instead, taken the stimulus money, drank it at the bar on the weekend, had the student loans, and then hoped the government would bail out the student loans in 6 months.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, but people are hitting the malls. People are planning trips. So going to movies in actual theaters.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we did that a few weeks ago. Not to offend anybody locally. How dare you go in public? I wore 3 masks, though, so if that makes you feel better.
You did not.
It felt like it. But in any case, no. So we rented out the movie theater downtown. I'm independently wealthy, so I can afford to do things like that. No, it was $150.
That's a good deal.
$150, and you can bring 20 people.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
That's what would it cost to go to the movies anyway? So my kids, we have another family that the kids are friends with my kids. So for $150, it was 4 adults and 8 kids, and we were all able to go. We just split it and we got popcorn, and you got those cushy seats downtown. And I thought, that's kind of a funny thing. The movie is terrible, though. We saw Tom and Jerry, which, come on, man, it's brutal.
Is it the old school version,
or
is it a newer version?
It was kind of like, like Space Jam, how they got half cartoon, half normal.
Oh, okay.
It's some weird movie like that. So it was,
Yeah.
But hey, we were at the movies.
Like
Woohoo! So, whatever.
It was an outing.
It was for the children.
Yeah.
Everything I do is for the children.
I was going to say, everything right now is for the kids.
Children. Yes. I sound like Miss Doubtfire there a little bit. I don't know. Gotta work on that. I should be here for Halloween. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that is so awesome.
At least to me. I don't know if anybody else would think it was funny. All right. Whew. So people are spending money on dumb things. Let's see. Top things: skirts, jumpsuits, dresses. You said that. Jeans, champagne.
Yeah,
popping bottles,
they're celebrating.
Getting back to normal. Shoes. That's funny because for the last year you didn't have to wear shoes. You were inside. You had your slippers on. Now everyone needs a pair of shoes to walk around. Shaving kits. So I wonder if that's no one shaved for a year. Everyone was at home kind of getting the grunge look.
I have to admit,
everyone's like, oh, get back out there in swimsuits.
I've seen some pretty big beards lately on some of my
friends'
spouses. Yeah,
is that just people normalizing? I guess I don't know.
No, it's because they haven't had to go in the office, so they've been able to grow a nice, big, furry, fuzzy beard.
I do that with my shoulders. Really
so gross.
See how far out I can get it. You gotta what is it called? When you just kind of what's the word I'm thinking about? Just kind of make it all nappy. I don't know. Anyways, we did it. I think that's good for today.
That was rough.
We had hopefully not everyone sees it, but we had a technical glitch in the middle that the internet blew up and made a mess. So anyways, we appreciate all of everybody's time. We're going to be more in tune next week with this thing, but hey, positive vibes. There's a lot of good things happening.
Yes.
Things are normalizing. People are getting healthier. COVID cases are staying consistently down. Mortality rates are falling. Life is good out there. Find a reason to make sure your glass is half full. Stop complaining that it's half empty. And give us a call, 805-500-7035. You can visit our main website, thelindgroup.com. Feel free to reach out to us for a complimentary consultation. If you have questions, criticisms, critiques about the show, topics you would like us to talk about, please let us know. And remember, follow us on our podcast, follow us on YouTube or Rumble, and we'll be back next week.
All right.